So you go into the company. How did you get the current team to sort of accept you as their leader and to follow you?
Well, so because I was already someone known from the community, from the Drupal community.
Oh, you're a rock star there.
um,
That's right. Yeah.
well, we don't like to use the word rock star because that
No.
gives a lot of pressure, and then we see a lot of people burn out because they want to be a rock star.
A leader.
Or
You're a leader
are,
there.
yeah. So we need to be careful with these words, I guess. But at least I was somewhat known, so I didn't have to prove my technical ability initially. So the harder part was to kind of show that I was capable of defending them in business processes somewhat.
So were they
Uh,
getting a lot of change of direction from the leadership, and then you kind of have to come in and uh, make sure that you can control the change so you can deliver stuff on time? Is that what it was?
yeah, I think you can maybe mention it like that. The hardest part was that it was a culture of who shouts the loudest, if that's something you can
I
say.
got it. Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I worked really hard to move it into a certain agile flow that worked for that company. Um, so every team has its own board, but they are being able to borrow out team members to another team if it gets busy. But it also then reflects into the financial reports of that specific team that they borrowed out that person, because each of the teams in our company have a certain bookkeeping, if you will,
Yeah.
and they need to somehow also prove that they're profitable. But if there's a lot of pressure in one team to finish a certain project because of a certain deadline of a company or a client that we work for, it's possible to loan another member from another team without impacting their profitability. So it was a very difficult system to set up in business processes. And I think that's also what I wanted to talk to you about, is that as a CTO, you're also responsible in connecting all the dots between all the different systems in a company. And like understanding in a 60 to 80 people company as we are in right now, it's already very complex. I can understand that if you're a 100 or 400 people company, it's insanely complex. So that was my biggest challenge in the last year, is to connect all the dots and to make sure that there are systems and not frustrations and emotions.